Now, is your total testosterone magic number in nanograms per deciliter that important? Because we've all got different requirements. We're all different. So basically, some guys can function fine with about 400 nanograms per deciliter without any problems. Some guys will suffer at that level. Other guys need more to be functioning well. What's not often considered is that your testosterone levels naturally fluctuate throughout the day. They're not constant and they never remain the same. For example, statistically, science says that your T levels can naturally fluctuate by as much as 40%, anything between 10 and 40%. Now, your testosterone levels are higher in the morning and they tend to be a little bit lower in the afternoon and the evening. And another thing which is going to determine your particular personal organism is your size, your weight and your metabolic rate. Now, what's really important is not so much the magic number, it's all about how you actually feel right now. Your vitality, your moods, your energy level, your libido, your physical performance. If all that's good, then you're good right now. And if you're doing this with 400 nanograms per deciliter or with 700 or with 1,000, then as long as you are feeling good and everything's going well, then you don't have an immediate problem of any kind. Now, in terms of, basically we've got our total testosterone number in nanograms per deciliter, but of course we can't utilize all of that right now in this moment. What we can, the only testosterone we can actually utilize in this moment right now is our free testosterone levels. Now, basically for the elements which are here and now, they're here specific elements. For example, your ability to develop muscles, your strength, which is here and now. I mean, you could have been feeling really strong last week, but this week you're feeling a bit, you're not quite 100%. It's quite normal for this to happen. It's all about your here and now available testosterone, your energy levels. You could have been full of energy yesterday and yet not so much today. This is all highly possible and it's perfectly natural. Your spermgenesis, after all, you're producing the sperm right here, right now, today, to use today or in the near future. That is also determined by your free testosterone level. And also your confidence can be influenced by testosterone, and that tends to be how you feel in the here and now. You could be, again, sound a bit repetitive here, but you can be really confident and on top of the world yesterday and not so much today. Now, your total testosterone determines more of your permanent things, like the development of your testicles and penis, which tend to be, you've got those for the rest of your life. A deeper voice is determined more by your total testosterone level, your facial and body hair, whether you can grow a thick, full beard or you've got a hairy chest, hairy legs. All of this is determined by how much total testosterone that you have. Your ability, some people don't want this, of course, but in men with good high testosterone levels, you tend to lose your hair. And this is because 10% of that total testosterone level that you have is converted into DHT, dihydrotestosterone, and it's dihydrotestosterone that's responsible for hair loss in men. Also, your bone strength is going to be determined by your total testosterone. Also, in a way, this is both total testosterone and free testosterone will have an influence over your cognitive function and your thinking ability. Now, your mood is pretty much, your here and now mood today is pretty much going to be determined by your free testosterone. But your more permanent, your worldview, your outlook, kind of cognitive function, your thinking ability is more determined by your total testosterone levels. And I've got this opinion, just a personal opinion, I'm not trying to insult anybody, but thinking ability is on a downward decline in our modern age. The free thinking ability definitely on the decline. Another thing which your overall testosterone level is going to have a massive influence over is preventing age-related diseases, because a lot of age-related diseases it's all about your declining testosterone, and of course your declining DHEA levels, which I'll get to that in another video. But basically your DHEA levels and your testosterone levels are correlated closely, and it's basically, it determines how well you age, in both inside and outside. So basically your total testosterone, it's quite important because it's your masculinity, your health and your well-being. Your free testosterone is how am I right now today. Now there are 3 different types of testosterone. If you take this total testosterone number, there are 3 types of testosterone. You've got your free testosterone, which I've already said, it's available now, I've already said that. That's literally only about 5% or less of your total testosterone number. Now, about 45% of your testosterone, or thereabouts, I'm just guesstimating here, is called albumin-bound testosterone. It's bound to a protein called albumin. It's not available right now, but it can be converted into free testosterone as and when required. It's a complicated process. I'm not a scientist, so I'm going to keep this really simple. You've also got sex hormone binding globulin bound testosterone, which makes up around 50% of your total T. Now this, kind of putting it really simply, it's a bit more complicated of course, but it regulates the levels of free testosterone you have available. In a roundabout way, it will be these markers which will send the message to the brain to produce more testosterone if you need a top up, basically. Now, when it comes to testosterone, if you've got too little testosterone, of course you're going to get the symptoms of low testosterone, probably. If you have too much testosterone, then your body is going to make more estrogen to compensate and maintain the balance. But what is not so obvious, and this is actually true, this can happen, but you can have a high total testosterone level and still suffer with the symptoms of low testosterone. But how you're probably thinking, surely that's bullshit, but actually it's not. I mean, let's take two men. Let's imagine we've got 2 men. On the left, we've got a guy with 1,000 nanograms per deciliter. On the right, we've got a guy who has only 700 nanograms per deciliter. Now, if you were to ask the question, which one of these guys is more efficient at building muscle, has more energy, is stronger, and all the rest of these things, you're naturally going to assume that it's the guy with 1,000 nanograms per deciliter. And if all other things were equal between the two, then you would probably be right in assuming that. Now let's add another, basically hypothetical thing into this equation. Now let's say that our guy with 1,000 nanograms per deciliter has a free testosterone level of, say, 150 picograms per milliliter, and our guy with only 700 nanograms per deciliter he's really good at producing, really efficient at producing free testosterone, and he's got a level of 250 picograms per milliliter. If we pose the same question, which one of these guys is going to be more efficient at building muscle, have more energy, more strength and everything, it's going to be the guy with only 700, because it's all about the here and now. He's more efficient at making free testosterone. It's called, basically the scientific term is androgen sensitive. It's basically your ability to convert free testosterone and have more free testosterone available. Unfortunately, that's something you can't change. It's hardwired into you while you were in utero inside your mother. And here's just a theory of mine, that this could have been determined by your mum's habits and lifestyle choices while you were inside growing as a fetus. But there's no scientific evidence to back that one up. It's just a logical thing. If your mum smoked, ate junk food, all of these things, then of course it's going to affect the fetus. So I could be right here. Now basically you've got to work with what you've got. However, how your androgen sensitivity is your androgen sensitivity. You've got no choice. You've got to work with what you've got. It's the same for everybody. But what is important is that you can optimize what you have. So basically your free testosterone is more important in the here and now, and that's your free testosterone number in picograms per milliliter. For me, that's the one that's most important, because I live in this moment here and now today, and that for me is the more important testosterone level. But your total testosterone determines your masculine features and the things about you that are more permanent, so it's pretty important. Also, if you've got a higher higher total testosterone level, you're gonna the natural decline in testosterone is going to be slower for you. But on the other, you can also think about this, that they say that after a certain age, between 30 and 40, your total testosterone decreases by about 1% per year. Now, if you've only got 400 nanograms per deciliter, you're going to be losing less nanograms per deciliter per year, because 1% of 400 is a smaller amount than 1% of 1,000. So there's advantages and disadvantages to this, but basically you've got to work with what you've got, and you have to optimize what you've got. And as long as you're doing everything you possibly can to optimize your testosterone levels, you shouldn't have a problem. Now, I've written a book. It's a very detailed and fact-checked book about everything you can do to optimize your testosterone levels and to keep them optimized for longer into old age. I reveal everything that I've done myself to make that happen for myself. If you you don't have to buy the book. I shall reveal all my secrets in this series of videos. I'm not going to try and hold anything back. So you've got to buy my book to find out the secrets so that I get paid. It's not like that at all. But the book it's convenient. You've got everything all in one place. If you want you've got a quick reference guide, you can go through it. It's convenient, it's time saving, and all of that. I would greatly appreciate it if you bought a copy. If you are interested in all things total equilibrium, you want balance and harmony for your mind, your body and your soul, then hit subscribe. if you like this content, hit like, please. Help the old YouTube algorithm. And I've got plenty more coming up for you real soon.